It's a little toasty out. This is a venti. I don't get venti for very many things, but I'll venti for pumpkin spice. Hi everybody, it's Wednesdays with me, Amy. I don't usually share personal dating experiences on my YouTube channel, but I recently had an experience that frankly is just too good not to share, and it's also a story with a lesson. So without further ado, I would love to tell you about my most recent dating experience with Tinder. This guy's opening line was what initially piqued my interest. I'd been on the app for all of 2 hours before he messaged me and said, well, it's Thursday night. Time to put on the new Taylor Swift and let the good times roll. Swoon. I mean, you had me at Taylor Swift. So we make plans to meet at a bar. I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm all of those things that you're supposed to be before a first date, let alone a first date with a complete stranger that you met on Tinder. I get to the bar, I spot him, I go over, he's on his phone, he barely looks up, doesn't stand up, doesn't smile, and just makes eye contact with me and puts out his hand like this, like for a high five. This might not be a normal experience. Give him a high five, order a drink from the bar, go back, he's still on his phone, which if you've watched me before, you know, get off your fucking phone if you're on a date. But I didn't think that much of it. I was, just gonna kind of call it out. I kind of playfully am like, hey, new iPhone, no case, that's pretty ballsy. And he just looks at me and in all seriousness says, phone cases are for poor people. Did you know that? Did you know that phone cases were for poor people? Because I didn't know phone cases were for poor people. I thought phone cases were for smart people. So he immediately launches into just talking about himself and his job and how much money he makes, and he's a tech guy, so he sold an app right out of college and is sitting on millions. He partied in California wine country all summer with the likes of Carly Kloss, who isn't even really that hot. Meanwhile, not really making eye contact with me, obviously not asking me anything about myself, just rambling on and coming across really as an arrogant asshole. So he kind of takes a break, finishes up from talking. I'm waiting for him to ask me about myself, and instead he says, go get me another beer. Excuse me? Say what? I mean, I used to bartend, but hi, I'm off the clock, motherfucker, so you can go get yourself another beer if you want one. No. Actually, if you want another beer, you can go get yourself another beer, but I'm not gonna just get drinks for you. And he goes, kind of like how sassy you are. This isn't me being sassy, this is just me not being bossed around by you, you asshole. I had barely started my drink. He comes back with a beer and with a second drink for me. Nothing really sends the message more that you're just trying to get me drunk than providing me with a new drink when I probably had this much of my old drink after I told you I was kind of a lightweight. Great, dude. Really A+ move making on your part. Then he actually asks me about myself, and I tell him that I'm a coach and I do life coaching, I do dating and relationship coaching, I help people with blah, blah, blah. Immediately he starts grilling me about what I charge people, and when I wouldn't answer him, he just insists that if I told him about my business model and how much money I make, that he could earn me more. Cause there's nothing I love more than when a cocky asshole just solicits unwanted job advice. So I talked about myself for all of 45 seconds and he immediately just goes, I'm bored, let's go to my roof and drink champagne. I mean, really? No, I don't really think I wanna go back to your roof with you. Why not? Are you like scared or something? No, I just haven't really had a good enough time to warrant going home with you, and there's also just an implication of what might happen if I were to go home with you, and I want to be clear that that's definitely absolutely not happening. Whatever, I don't even care. I have a party to go to in Brooklyn. He gets up, he pays the tab at the bar, thank you for the drinks, I guess, which I've barely touched, and books it out of the bar. And immediately these two guys nearby turn around and are like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, that, my friends, was a Tinder date. I leave and he's waiting outside the bar, and he's on his fucking caseless phone, just scrolling through shit. And he looks up and goes, so are you coming or not? Not. I am so not coming. You just left me alone at a bar. And at this point, he shushes me. Note to men everywhere, smart, decent, self-respecting women don't like being shushed. I just kind of ripped him a new one a little bit. I don't know if this usually works for other people. I don't know what your game is here. You seem like there's a lot of intriguing stuff, but I just don't like what you're doing. So it's not gonna work for me. Thank you for the drinks. Goodbye. And I leave. What concerns me most about this date is that this guy had to have learned at a certain point in his life that if he treats women like shit, it yields positive results. Here we have a smart, successful, not bad looking guy in his 30s acting like an out and out douchebag on a date with a woman he wants to go home with. He has to have gotten some kind of good feedback on this routine at some point in his life, and that scares the crap out of me. It really freaks me out to think that smart, successful, probably very lovely women who might just have terrible self-esteem would have met this guy and let him treat them that way and responded positively to his shitty advances. And the irony, of course, is that when I did finally lay down the law and say, this sucks, this was a shitty date, I'm not interested, I left and he texted me nonstop for the 48 hours following, asking to see me again, asking to take me out to dinner, wondering what I was doing. This guy really, really wanted to make something happen, and he truthfully believed if I'm mean to you, it'll make you like me more. We have to stop entertaining that kind of BS. It's sick. It makes me upset, and it's the reason why I do everything I do on my YouTube channel. It's the reason why I coach women on building up their confidence and feeling empowered in their dating lives so that they don't have to tolerate shit like this, because it's ridiculous. If we accept that kind of behavior and we reward it with our time, our energy, our focus, our bodies, our emotional presence, whatever, we are telling men it's okay to be rude and mistreat women, and it's not. We all know it's not. So as a whole, we all need to decide, I'm not putting up with this. If a guy acts like an asshole to me, I'm not gonna entertain it any further. Maybe he'll change, maybe he won't. Not my job to be a catalyst in that process, because how someone treats you on a first date says a lot about how they might eventually treat you if it becomes something serious. I just felt like I had to make a little spiel because the experience was very enlightening to me, and it proved that, wow, guys like this actually do exist, and that's terrifying, but also good to recognize, because it just reminds me of why I'm so big on women having the standards that they have and keeping those standards high and not compromising them for just anybody. So yeah, in closing, don't take no shit. Don't let guys treat you badly. Don't reward them with your time, your energy, your presence, your physical body, your mental prowess. You deserve someone who treats you like a fucking queen from day one. And man, good luck to that guy out there, you know? I have since deleted my Tinder account, so that was the beginning and the end of my Tinder venture, but you know, it was entertaining and it makes for a good story, at least. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely subscribe to my channel. I upload every Monday and Wednesday. And if you yourself have had a weird Tinder date experience, I would love for you to share it below. It's gonna be Mantra Monday before we know it, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you next week. See ya. So I was just sitting here editing this very video and realized that I need to remind you all about my live stream that's coming on Saturday. My live stream is this coming Saturday, October 11th at 12 p.m. I'm gonna be talking about life and love and happiness. There's gonna be a Q&A and a really cool exclusive offer for anyone who chooses to attend. So you should click the link below in the description box, join in the fun if you want, and I would love to see you there. And thank you to everyone who's already confirmed. It's gonna be a really, really good time. Whew, okay, out of breath. Back to editing.